Yo, 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 Brian for the win here, coming back at it again with another crypto video. So anyways, guys, today I'm going to be talking about why basically the SEC, the Securities and Exchange Commission, went after Coinbase because they said they were going to land, what is it, like 4% on annual rate per year or whatever of interest per year. So anyways, Celsius, all these other exchanges, CRO, crypto.com, all these other exchanges have already been having their decentralized finance, their DeFi, lending platforms and all that. And so when Coinbase does it, and they're like the biggest exchange in the US, all of a sudden it's not, they don't allow it, and they want to go after them. And so let me just play like two little clips of some videos so you guys kind of get like in somebody else's perspective, another idea.
Debt ceiling. You've been printing money into oblivion, and you've actually decreased or devaluation. I keep saying deflated, devalued the U.S. currency. Okay. Now the people are starting to wake up, so you're trying to keep them asleep. As they're waking up, they're like, holy crap, I can become my own bank. Okay, so we'll stop the narrative there. Now let's go into the news now that you have that context. Okay, so Ripple welcomes Coinbase to play in the party as the SEC threatens to sue. This is kind of funny. So Coinbase has received warning from the United States Securities and Exchange Commission, the SEC, over its high-interest crypto product Lend. So let's play the political theater. Let's move on. Okay, now follow through. You're playing Gary Gensler. You're from launching lending programs.
Anyways, so yeah, people, like I said in one of my last videos, people are basically, saying like, hey, we're not getting any, annual percentage in the bank. We're getting literally pennies. We're getting 0.004 of percentage annually, which is nothing. It's nothing. It's pennies. If you have like 10 grand, like I said, you have like maybe like 100,000, it's probably like $1. Like, it's nothing, right? Nothing at all. And so, I'm gonna play you guys this other clip, and if you guys do want to like do some move like that, I recommend getting this little what is it called, Ledger Nano. And so that's what I will use to secure my assets and my money in.
This is Brian Armstrong, and he met with every regulator and a branch of government he could. The SEC was the only regulator that refused to meet with Brian Armstrong, saying, we're not meeting with any crypto companies. This was right after they became the first crypto company to go public in the United States. You think that meeting with the first ever SEC regulated publicly traded company would be something of interest for this regulatory body that has an interest in having a strong communication with crypto companies. Very, very interesting. Gensler had been confirmed just a month or so prior, so he brushed it off as SEC is still getting its feet under it. Now he's not so sure. Of course, he's not so sure. They've always tried to be good actors in the space, leaning into sensible regulation, even when it's difficult or expensive. We try to think about what products we would want for ourselves and what risks we would want our families to be aware of before launching products. We will keep following this approach. Yet here we're being threatened with legal action before a single bit of actual guidance has been given to the industry on these products. If we end up in court, we may finally get the regulatory clarity the SEC refuses to provide. But regulation by litigation should be the last resort for the SEC, not the first. Our door remains open. Hopefully the SEC steps up to create the clarity this industry deserves without harming consumers and companies in the process. America could really use all of us working together to figure this out right now. Now, before I give you my opinion on this, let's just see a little bit of the reaction to this across the industry. First and foremost, from some guy named Mark Cuban. Brian, this is regulation via litigation. They aren't capable of working through this themselves and are afraid of making mistakes in doing so. They leave it to the lawyers. Just the people you don't want impacting new technologies, you have to go on the offensive. So this is what Mark Cuban believes is the right path here, is to go on the offensive against the SEC. And personally, I think if there's any company probably positioned to do this, it is, of course, Brian Armstrong and Coinbase. Now, We see here Jerry Brito. Jerry Brito is the executive director of Coin Center, the DC-based crypto think tank for crypto policy, and they're essentially a lobbyist for crypto. He says, if true, this is pretty underhanded. I know it's easy for me to say, but Coinbase should go ahead and launch its product. Let the SEC sue and go to court. Let the SEC make its case and let a judge decide what the law is. Essentially, once again, this is regulation by litigation. It's really not the ideal approach here. I thought Gensler, the whole point of him being an MIT
I think I'm a pretty normal 16-year-old. I like to surf and help my community.
In one of my
blockchain professor
videos, I did take the MIT course, or I listened to the whole course, and Gary Gensler was in it, and he was, pretty helpful and explaining all that stuff. Awesome, that was great. But now he's the head of the SEC, the Security and Exchange Commission, and so, I'm not sure whether he's doing a good job or not. It's not really, doesn't seem like he's doing such a good job so far.
Was that he would try to make an even-handed approach to these laws. In his defense, it's pretty hard stuff. And the problem is that once they regulate it and they provide frameworks, the actual floodgates are going to open up because people will know they're on terra firma and that they're building on regulatory safe haven grounds, and the big money bags are going to pour in at that point, and crypto becomes unstoppable. So by regulating crypto, you give it legitimacy and you essentially enshrine it, you crystallize it in the future. And you got to feel like, hey, if there's any entity that doesn't want this, it's probably the banks, right? But more on that later. You also have Maya Zahavi saying the only explanation for SEC's harsh stance against Coinbase Lend that makes sense. I didn't like that. We also have Danger saying the SEC protecting Wall Street since 1934. And so we also have David earn 4% on a tokenized dollar. Amen. So what Chainlink actually collateralized stablecoins are going to be the things that are attacked here. Gambling on YOLO options and meme stocks / fair game, but God forbid allowing retail to earn 4% on a tokenized dollar. Amen. So what Chainlink God 2.0 is saying is this is called legally enforced racketeering. Refuse to publish guidelines. Tell companies to work with SEC. Sue them after they ask for help and profit. Who is the SEC protecting? The consumers? Lol, no. It's the traditional rent-extracting prison of our financial system. We also have Lark Davis saying U.S. investors get so screwed in crypto. No token sales. SEC trying to crush lending. Infrastructure bill attacking staking. Airdrops limited. BTC ETF. Futures-backed. LOL. Limited leverage options. Accredited investor laws. Seems like they are trying to keep you poor. I'm going to go ahead and like that. We also have Danger saying the SEC protecting Wall Street since 1934. And so we also have David Schwartz here, who's the CTO over at Ripple, helped build XRP. And obviously they've been in super hot water of late with the Howey test stuff and the SEC. He said, it's a straightforward application of the Howey. Lend is exactly like an orange grove. How can you not see it? Now, of course, this is all very, very sarcastic. The original Howey test, which is what the SEC bases its securities laws on, was based off the interpretation over who owns an orange grove or a shared orange grove. This is a law from 1934. And so the joke here is, obviously lending USDC is the same as an orange grove. How could you not see that? How could you not see that, Mr. Armstrong? Anyway, continuing on, we have Jesse Powell chiming in here as well. Now, this is bad. This is really bad.
Yeah, how can it not be bad? Banks are basically stopping everybody who has realized that they can basically move all their money into this, or into Coinbase, into crypto.com, into KuCoin, into Binance. Some of those exchanges I wouldn't really 100% recommend. I'm not going to say which ones or not. You do your own research, but yeah, basically earning 4%, 10, 8, whatever it is, annual percentage per year, APY. And so, you could do that. And now they're basically trying to stop people from doing that, They're basically stopping you from being your own bank. And, because why? Because the banks can't miss out on all the fun, because even though the IRS is already gonna very heavily tax crypto and get their gains, and even though there's already legislation being talked about, being passed and all that, like, they just want a slice of the pie, and they don't want to lose their grip on all that power. Like, it's so obvious, guys. It's so obvious. It's just, this kind of stuff makes you, honestly, it makes you mad, it makes you, it's pretty trash in my opinion. But anyways, guys, I hope, as always, you have a safe, good night and day and morning wherever you are in the world. And I'll see you guys in the next video. Peace.